Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you so much. How's everything?
Everything is fine, and really pleased to hear from you again. And the SDGs are an important accomplishment of the multilateral system, and I appreciate the time that you speak on this subject.
It's a pleasure. And first of all, my congratulations to Israel with a historical agreement which you
Mhm.
with Arab countries, and I'm sure that it's going to be expanded more and more. And also,
Yes, for sure. I hope that it will become to the states that my parents were born in Libya and Yemen, and I hope to that it will be in the future. Now we have a hope for that.
and also thank you so much for the Israeli support to Azerbaijan because we are having a war, and Israel showed entire full support to us, and that was really very special for us, and we're grateful for you and for the Israeli government. Minister, I just wanted to ask you some questions about SDG. How do you see youth advantages on implementation of the SDG?
The SDGs put great emphasis on youth. It is, after all, a roadmap of future development in which the needs of future generations, which are so often discounted for immediate short-term gains, and are put center stage. Use is mentioned in a number of targets, most notably in providing quality education and technological training, and reducing youth unemployment. But of course, the youth are those who will be most affected by climate change, loss of biodiversity, unsustainable urbanization, and all future challenges that we avoid dealing with today. So young people have a lot to lose by continuing with business as usual, and a lot to gain by implementing the SDGs. And that is why my ministry for environmental protection has extended funding for education towards sustainability, which is provided by local authorities, including allocating budget for environmental education at all levels. In the past, we provided over $10 million for these projects, to which I'm adding another approximately $2 million, and a lot of money for that. And we will put more money because this funding will go to certifying green schools on the basis of their curriculum and resource savings, including environmental initiatives in their physical structures and in their management, for example, in the work of the school council, and in service training for teachers. In addition, funding will be provided for informal education activities and for the certain of sustainable communities. I can say about the universities, for example, one of the effects of COVID-19 is an increase in the number of young people who are enrolling in higher education this year. And of course, that is what we need to do, is to open the door for them, and to bring them all the options, especially for technological skills, which is one of the focus of our stimulate package.
But definitely, I mean, like, I'm sure that whatever you are going to take, you are going to finalize it. And I have seen you in so many capacities. Dear Minister, how COVID-19 affected the environment in Israel?
All over. The COVID-19 pandemic stresses out the importance of a all of a government approach, which is needed to deal with a crisis in the horizon, not only with the pandemic, but also with climate change and biodiversity loss. These are far greater challenges that COVID-19, since the worst is still the future, and people have difficulty understanding that we have to act now so that the effects in the future can be reduced. If we delay implementing solutions and adaptation measures, the cost in the future is going to be, we understand that it can be a really problem. A lot of the work of my ministry is to persuade the government and about all the long-term effects of their policies as governments, to think about all the issues that we need to deal with. Examples are building and planning. We have to create a housing for our growing population, which will grow from around 9 million at the present to close to 30 million in 2040. But that building must preserve green spaces, ecosystem services, and biodiversity, and adhere to our recently passed legislation on green building, so as to reduce GHG emissions. Another example I can think about is my plan for pollution and dangerous chemical industries that must moved from urban centers, even if we have to face a short-term challenge of employment, to which solutions must be found, and to change it for a green area, and to open the door to people to change their work and to become in this subject of green industry. This is the role we are taking in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I'm working towards an Israeli Green Deal, like the EU's Green Deal, which examines the stimulus packages and checks that a huge investment in recovery also promotes solutions to climate change and related policies.
Yeah, that's definitely because what we saw with what happened in Libya with the chemical weapons or chemical equipments to be in the city center, it can be damaging a lot. And I'm also amazed from the first day to read the book Building a Nation by Shimon, and to see how the nation still continues building legacy. And there's a last question, Minister, how Israel experience can help to implement SDG globally?
Good question. Israel has a relative advantage in technologies and innovation, and Israel invests more in research and development per capita than almost all other developed countries, and is in the top 5 countries of the world for application for patents per capita. And Israel, a small, densely populated country with the highest birth rate among OECD countries. And the country has varied climate conditions, snow in the north, desert in the south, all within 9 hours travel. And there is a huge variety of biodiversity, and 500 million birds migrate in the spring and fall between Europe and Africa. So we are a good lab for conditions in many other countries and the challenges they will face from climate change in the years to come. And we believe that this tradition of innovation and creativity continues in Israel, and that a technological literate work force and young people can provide a solution to worldwide. I can bring, for example, the Desert Tech. Desert Tech is going to be the huge center in the south of Israel. It will help promote SDGs such as a climate change adaptation, prevention of land loss, efficient water use, and eliminations of poverty through advanced agriculture practicing. And this can be the solution for all the area. And you spoke before about the new green, but I want to say Greenpeace, about the peace between Israel and other Arab countries in our region it can be open the door for a lot of connecting and to do together all this changing.
Definitely, I think that there is Israel has a huge advantage on that because of the Israelis' investment on high technology, and especially the people like you taking a leadership, like women leaders, and it is very good. And I think that we are wishing you best of luck, and we are standing next to you. Anything you may need, just we are beside you.